both doing the same leverage?
Oh, they wouldn't even really discuss leverage that much.
Oh, so they weren't even doing less. So they were doing spot.
No, I mean we were trading futures, but they would give
Okay, okay,
signals for
yeah,
entries and TPs and all this shit.
yeah,
But
because you guys
yeah,
do
use
like,
leverage at your own discretion.
yeah, yeah, okay, okay, yeah. So that was for futures trading.
Yeah,
So they're doing a $5,000 lifetime Discord membership to do futures trading,
yep.
and then they were doing, if you wanted to pay monthly, 2,500. And they,
No, I mean once you bought the life, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean if you bought the lifetime, you were always had it,
yeah.
or I guess, yeah.
Or
I
you
guess
pay monthly.
25.
Let's say 500 a month. Fuck it. That's because that's about normal what everybody does. Or you can just pay 5,000 and call it a day. So
Yeah.
what? And because this is like a normal. So I've had fuck man. I've been on here since 2021. So we had in the beginning we did it. There were people like, "Yo, VC, you need to do a Discord so we could like." Well, I didn't. I didn't. I wasn't. I go live normally. So like when I'm trading and doing shit, I would be on like I mean because I was fuck man. I mean 2021 it was like so much new projects. There was so much to dig into. I mean we were like really digging shit up. So it was like 24/7 just research. I mean we had all types of shit. And I was like, man, you guys, there's so much to do. So I was live. Sometimes I'd be live for like 36 hours. And sometimes I sleep on. I'd pass out on live, and then every couple hours my alerts would go off, and I'd look and be like, all right, we're going long on Bitcoin, and I go back to sleep. And people were like, dude, man, this guy's live 24/7. Like we were literally live 24/7. And then finally, like, why don't you do a Discord, and then you ain't got to be live because the Discord, you can everyone will be doing their chats and all those things. And I was like, ah. So then we built a Discord, and then from there it was like the problem was the scammers, right? Because they just come in for free, and so we're like,
Right.
shit, we got to charge. So I was like, all right, fuck it, like let's do what's the basic thing? And everyone's like, I'm like, everyone's like, well, um, I asked people like, what are you paying for Discord? I was like, well, if they do signals, I pay $100 a month. I'm like, $100. Like, we don't need $100. I was like, let's do something basic. And then I was like, so I started off I'm like, fuck it, do $10 just so that way we have people have to put a credit card down, and that way they get access to the Discord, and scammers aren't going to put a credit card down. And then we started building, and then it was like I started adding teams. Like, all right, meme coins. All right, these guys are doing memes, and then we had guys that would do research like fuck all day long for hours, and I was like. And then they were like, "Man, I'm trying to get this in, but I'm doing this and this, and I'm picking up I'm going to work." And we were like, "Well, how much you make at work?" And they were like, "Well, I make about 500 a week." I'm like, "Fuck it, we'll give you $500 a week. Just look up meme coins, because we were making shit $80,000 to $100,000 on meme coins." So, so then we were like, "All right, we're raising up the Discord to $20." And everyone's like, all right, don't matter. Yeah, we got good shit here. So we just kept, and that's kind of where we were, man. And then it was like the more I bring in traders, taught people how to trade, and then gave them their own little section. And I was like, all right, if you call out trades, I'll teach you everything here. Just call out what the fuck you're trading, And
Yeah.
then we're like, all right, so we have these guys here, and then it was like, all right, so, and then we're like, oh shit, we need admins because you just have dumb shit. We had like 4,000 people in the Discord. So we're like, oh, fuck, we need admins for this. And I was like, all right. So then finally the admins, they all came to me. The whole teams came and said, listen, VC, you got to charge $50 a month minimum. We need to add a security guard. We need people that are putting it, like checking. Like these guys came up with all the Discord was badass. They bring a bunch of shit in it. We had all types of shit. I was like, all right. I said, well, if you guys, and that's when I was like, if you guys want to run this, because I'm not really into the whole, I'm not going to spend my day worrying about fucking Discord. And they're like, no, we'll run it all. So
Right.
they literally had all types of shit running. And then I went to, it was 2021. I ended up in Vegas. And I was talking to NASCAR and a bunch of people about NFTs for NASCAR and a bunch of like celebrities and like athletes. And the guys that were my traders, because I was gone for like shit, 4 weeks, and then it was the middle of December, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna be here for the holidays. So then while I was gone, they were calling all the trades. They were doing basically what they did every day, anyways. And the admin that I had, the traders were like, hey man, if VC is going to be doing NFTs and he's not going to, be trading anymore, we should be thinking about, maybe we should start a Discord where it's just trading. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, oh,
yeah.
So that's what they're like, yeah, and with the way that we trade, I mean, we could charge $100 a month. So they decided to start a Discord where they charge, because all these other people. I mean, I had one guy. What was his name? He came to the Discord. He was a charter, and I told him to come to Discord, and we were like, yeah, man, this is some things you can use. So what he did was, he took the indicators that I had at that time, and literally, I swear to God, he took my buy and sell indicator, and just it was so terrible. I couldn't even. I just laughed about it. He took his computer, put my indicator on it, and then he just turned his phone on, and he took the, like how you watch the screen like we're doing now, and then he just turned on, literally took my tracker. Back then it was a different name back then, but he put it on, and then all he would do is this, right? So you see how the buy and sells? So he would he would charge you $100 a month. You'd come to his Discord. He'd put his screen on with my indicator, and all you did is when the indicator said buy on his screen, you bought. And when it said sell, you sell. That was fun. It was the funniest shit I ever seen, bro. And I was like,
because that wouldn't actually work, right?
yeah, I mean it works, but I'm just like, it was like, and they were like, because there was people that were, because when I was doing my lives, I had about 100,000 people on my TikTok, and so I would bring in, the whole ideal for me was to bring in more people that were traders, what I'm saying, and then go over their philosophies and how they trade to see how to improve a system. And so I would bring in charters and people who did Elliott waves, and guys who did gamma fans, and guys who did, all these different fucking, ideals. And I was like, all right, so how does that, how's that work, right? So then they would see they would basically, so I'd bring them all in so that my community, you get 100,000 people on there, my community, I would introduce them. Oh, this guy's a pretty good guy. He's teaching gamma fans. So then they would go to their Discords and hop in their Discords, because they're like, oh yeah, I hopped over there. So then eventually, you're going back and forth, and you got your friends end up over there, and then that's where you're chatting, and pretty soon that's where you're posting things. It wasn't that big of a deal. And then they were like, they would be in there, and they're like, yo, VC, did you know what's happening over at this Discord, right? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, well, did you put your indicator over there? And I was like, nah. They're like, man, this is what happens. It's $50 a month, and you get access to this room. And in the room is just literally your indicator on a screen, and we're told to buy and sell when it says to buy and sell. And we all started laughing. And I was like,
hey,
damn.
Real quick, we just broke through that 230. Now we're at 237.
Yeah, we're flying. We're flying now.
Oh, I got out.
Should I get back in?
No. We're gonna float. That was the pump.
Oh. Okay.
That was the pump. But yeah, that's what we were looking for. Well, that's the run. What we hit, 250?
It's cranking right now, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not in it, but
that's a runner.
Anytime I see that W pattern and we break the neckline, it always hits.
It's a beast move. Yeah, that thing's flying. But that's what we were looking for. We're looking for that 230, 250. So we'll have a pullback here no matter what. We're gonna have something, because you're gonna start hitting sales in there. Let's see where we're at here. But yeah, that's kind of where we were. I mean, so I've seen it all. So when people are like, man, but prices were crazy. Like, people were like, man, I'm paying, $400 a month to get 2 buy signals a week. I'm like, all right, whoa, what the? Like, it was unheard of, because we had I had like 10 traders. We were doing 20 trades a day. I was like, damn, you paying $200, $400 for 2 trades a week? I'm like, damn, that's crazy. And then when they gave, like, I guess I would say, all right, well, send me a signal, right? And it'd be the craziest shit I've ever seen. It'd be like such a basic, because they were spot, right? So it was like, I was like, oh, spot. I'm like, that's like worthless call outs. That's just basically, you look at a 4-hour chart. Like I just showed you how like the normal trading section, and they just go, okay, all right, everyone, we're up here. So we're going to put a buy signal on Solana at 199. Right, and then it's like, okay, and then we're gonna target, and the target will be back at 244, and that was it. And they send out entry 195, target 244. And I was like, you guys, that's what you're paying for? Like, I was blown away by that shit. I'm like, damn, that's weird. It's crazy sometimes. It's just it's like, I don't. But then on the other hand, I do also like, I get it, because it's like, and I've had Discords that were $5 to get in, and I had like, I mean, hundreds of people, bro, hundreds of motherfuckers, and they are the biggest complainers in the world, and they don't even pay shit. $5 is just to keep the scammers out, and then the people with money were like, bro, these guys are complainers. So then I've had that type of Discord, and then I've had a Discord where you paid $50, and that was kind of like, that middle ground right there kind of kept it. I mean, I'll be honest, the $50 line was probably the calmest Discord I had, because it was like, you didn't have a lot of complainers in there. Everybody was focused, and because they paid $50, they went and they tried to learn, because they were like, all right, I'm paying for this. Right. So that was like the move. And then the guys who left me, the traders that left me, they charged $100, and everybody got mad. And then, as time went on, they're like, I don't even know why I'm here. VCA is not even in here, and then they left. And I was like, yeah, I mean, you have to deliver where, if you're going to charge $100, you got to have some, I mean, to me, I'm just like, cause I'm a business person, so I'm always like, well, what are you getting for that? Like, I'm always like thinking, because it's like, I'm a numbers guy, so I'm like, all right, I'm paying $500 a month. How much am I making? You know what I'm saying? Like, I need, I got to get a return on my investment, and that's where, when I look at the crazy, because I'll go through like people's shit, I'll see their TikToks, and I'll go to their thing like, yeah, we got this free, and then you go and it's like VIP for $100 a month, and it's like, huh? And you don't even know, not even know what you're getting in there, and it's not like there's nothing, substantial. It's pretty crazy. So then,
it's
and then
everybody's an expert trader, and they wanted you to buy in, and this VIP,
it gets a little wild. And then we had a system where, because I would trade live all day, and then I'd say, okay, I do one-on-one coaching, and I do a full I'll work with you for 3 months, and we'll do a $5,000 program. But this is for serious and traders, because we spend 3 months together, and we'd hop on every day, trade all. I mean, I was on every day all the time, and they would just come in and do 2-3 hours. And sometimes I had a guy, one of my best guys, he sat with me for, probably 8 hours a day, and then went to work, came back, and like every day, he made $90,000 in his first 7 months, and then he's a computer security. So then when he did his taxes, he was like, bro, he's like, I had to pay $20,000 in taxes. I was like, yeah, dude, you made $97,000. I said, all right, I tell you what, man. I was like, if I said to you, all right, I'll give you $20,000, give me back 97. And he's like, no. I said, well, that's what you're saying. You're saying you had to give $20,000 to make 77, bro. But he was like, it was like, but he sold all his crypto out, and he's like, all right, we're gonna have that big pullback, and now he's kind of like slowly coming back in. But he kind of like, he makes good money doing his computers, the cybersecurity. So, but he spent hours with me, 8 hours a day. It was all night long trading. So that's when I did that program. And then what happened was, somebody signs up, they pay $5,000, and you're like, you got 3-4 people in class, and then I would be like, I'd want to have at least, like I tell them, I say, well, we want to spend at least an hour to 2 hours 3 times a week, so that I can keep you on track. And then what happened was people would sign up, and then I'd be like, oh shit, where's this guy? And I'd, text them, and I hit him up, send him a DM, and then email, and then I was spending most of my time hunting people down, like, oh, I had the kids had baseball, this happened, and then they were like, oh, I just got busy at work, and I'm like, so I was like, man, I said, bro, I can't. I said, you make me feel bad because you paid for something, but now I'm hunting you down. Like, that's not my.
Well, let me ask you this, man. Let me throw this at you. It's just you and I on the thing. Nikki just texted me. She got disconnected. Dude, I'm more of a hands-on guy, and I mean, I'm a numbers guy. I got places to stay in Vegas. That's where you're at, man. How much does it cost? And I'll bring a bag. This is what I'm doing for a living now. Like, I went through all kind of shit in my life, and yeah, man. To sit with you and trade, I don't even care what's it cost.
Oh, so that's we do the $5,000 program still. I just don't put it out there because I'm like, I just got tired of hunting people down. Because I'm like, yeah, listen, if you want to be serious,
I'll come out to Vegas, man.
I mean, how much time you got? Oh, okay, yeah.
I got all the time in the world.
Yeah, I mean, because this is where. So the next thing that I'm doing, which is pretty crazy, right? That's why I was sitting there. I'm kind of like doing a day in the life of a day trader, and I'm piecing that together because what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that into a whole nother fucking ball game, which is, hey, you can literally promote these exchanges and make $300 to $500 a day. You don't even got to trade.
Yeah.
Like we're stepping in the world. This is the beginning of spread the word. Hand out this is the gold rush. You be the person handing out shovels and buckets. I said, and the best part is, so that was just like we were talking about, right? So you have a bunch of people out there who know that people want to learn to trade. And, they get people to pay that $5,000 a year. And they don't even know what the fuck they're doing. They don't have a system. They don't have a strategy. They just get you into a Discord and hope that, someone in there is actually good enough that people get lucky. Like one guy trading long, one guy trading short. It's a fucking mess. But how many people were in that Discord?
Oh, shit tons. And they just rely on that revolving door
right.
with that fucking
$5,000
people joining.
Yeah, $5,000. They don't give a fuck if you make money or not.
And then they sign up as a referral through Femex, and they get paid off their fees, and they get the $5,000 coming in. So it doesn't matter what they do. You know what I mean?
So even if you leave them and you get pissed off and you're still trading on Femex, you're paying them.
Exactly.
And nobody. And can you guys? So can you get paid from Femex?
I think you can if you start referring people or whatever. I wanted to remove them as of my referral. They wouldn't let me.
Yeah, right, yeah. Once you're So and it's normally like it's crazy. So I was like, that's what I'm saying. Like and that's just. There's 100,000 of those. There was a guy, it was an Asian dude, and this is what I was doing in 2021. I was like, I was going around, and somebody was like, in 2022, I was in Chicago, and he had a spot that was in Oak Brook, which is literally 30 minutes from where I was at. And the guy was like,
I'm in Northwest Indiana, man. I'm 30 minutes from downtown Chicago.
Oh, where you at?
Area.
Where you at, Maryville?
I'm in Valparaiso, Indiana.
Oh, you're Valpo.
Yeah. I'm in Maryville right now. My shop. Yeah.
Yeah. So I grew up in Homewood area out there, Chicago Heights. So.
Oh, dude, yeah, Chicago Heights. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. When it was nice. So.
Oh yeah.
It's terrible now.
Calumet City used to be nice too back in the day.
Yeah, way back in the day. Yeah, like that, man. So, and at that point, then I spent most of, when I got older, I moved out to Naperville and Oak Brook. And Orland, I spent a little time in Orland, but it was Naperville and Oak Brook way better. But I was like, this Asian guy, and he was there like, yeah, this guy has this, this system. And I said, okay. And I was interested because I was building a system. And I was like, all right, he was $25,000, bro. And I was like, okay, all right, I need to see this. Because there was people signing up like crazy. And I'm like, holy fuck. So I end up in the class, and I walk into it's just a rented office space with a bunch of chairs and desks, and then they have the screen on the wall, and I'm like, okay, and then all of a sudden they're playing his videos of him talking about his system. I'm like, for 25 grand, you ain't even here, bro. Like, I was just, and then it was the same shit you got on what everyone else is saying. Support resistance Fibonacci's, dumb shit. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm not charging enough. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
Like, but but those are people who are dedicated to the sales side. Like, sell a program, fuck if it makes money. Where I'm like, I'm so interested in actually like creating something that gives results. Like, I don't want 50% wins. I want to make something that's like, you could be terrible, and you just have to, simple steps, man. You can be successful. Like, I want a 90% success rate. Where everyone else is getting 30. Like, I'm just like, no, that's not. I mean, it's just, that's what I want out of it. Like, I just want that. I want something that I can be like, this is the greatest fucking thing. That's it. That's why, that's what I've been working on for the last 5 years. And I've changed it, moved it. And I've had super traders, average traders, just learning traders to don't know shit traders. And I'm like, all right, so we can get the don't know shit trader to make money, then everybody else will make money. And then I just kind of like, it was interesting because it was like going through the psychology, then the mentality, and I was like, some of you guys are just, it's you. Like, fuck, how do you make a system that solves human nature? Like, what the hell, right? So that's really what, it's a hell of a journey, but it's a good time. So now we're at the point where we've got partnerships. We can, we can lean on companies for more money. And now it's like, established of everything that we want. And now it's like, all right, now we can, now they, because I've been in the crypto space since 2000, like on TikTok since 2021, but crypto's in 2017. But a lot of places have seen my videos, sent me emails, try to get me to work with them, and I just don't work with them because they don't have the things that I need to. They don't offer me anything that I can offer to everybody else, and make it like a joint effort where I'm like, there's gotta be ways that people who don't even fucking trade make money. And they're like, and it just kept coming back. Oh, well, how about this? How about that? I'm like, well, if you can make it where people can sign up, and then people who sign up with them can also get paid, and they can say, hey, you want to work with me? And they can bring their cousins in and then have them make extra money. I'm like, if you can split that pot up, right? Because most of the time they only want to give out 20, 30%. And then they're like, oh, we'd be giving up like 80 or plus. I said, well, I mean, but if you're up 800%, what's the difference? So BitNex was the only one that was like, okay, like we'll give you, we'll roll with that. Let's see what, it wouldn't hurt to figure out how to, make it work. And that's really what it came down to, was just allowing them to like, kind of give the opportunity to build. And so far they've been, like I said, everything I asked for, everything I'm like, hey, I need this, I need that. And it's like, they've never been a problem, and it's always been, okay, let's try it. They're just like phenomenally good at, they want to be number one. Like, they want you to be happy. Like, we've had some crazy requests, and like, hey, can we get this and this? And they'd be like, yeah, like, can we give away a Tesla? Yeah. I mean, it's like, fuck. Like, I'm always like, these dudes are down. And they're like, hey, man, you want to do a trading competition? We're down. We'll sponsor this. We'll put 50 grand up if you do this. And I'm like, damn. I said, well, we could do all this shit. So that's why now I'm like, all right, now how do we get it where we get all this opportunity to everybody out there and be like, okay, let's build things. And I was like, the thing about the gold rush was, it's kind of like what everyone's doing. It's like everyone's feeding everyone the gold rush buckets, like sell the buckets, sell the fucking shovels. Oh yeah, you can learn how to do futures and all this shit here, but they don't actually know how to trade. But they're selling the $5,000 sign up, $5,000 sign up.
Yeah, you're 100% right. They're just great salesmen, not great traders.
Right, just good sales. And I was like, so now I was like, how do you? That's why we've been working on the system, because once we had the system that we can say, okay, this daily trade, you can't fuck it up, and now we can just make it where everyone can knock that out. Now that you have that, right? Now we open up to the site that we're going to have the free Discord. Now, if you're a salesperson and you're like, oh man, I don't know how to trade, but I'm good at sales. Okay, well here's what you can do. You can take your BitNex, use our trades, post them, and say, hey man, guys, this is that. Sign up for BitNex. And the best part about it is, when you sign up, you get access to the free trading Discord, and then they can give them our website that has the system. And it's like, oh, okay, well then that's what I really want. Yeah, perfect. And then people come in, they have the system set up, and it's like, boom. Now they're getting paid for their referrals, but the people are getting somewhere they can actually learn how to make money and trade. So that is a win-win for everybody, because now they're in a system, they're trading, they're building our partner, and then these people are making money, and it's like, oh, and everyone in the circle of life is making something from crypto, which is really the ultimate goal, is to make crypto very popular so that we continue to get more, exposure with crypto. So it's like, when you create that and you can actually, help people be successful while other people are going around bringing people in, it's like, okay, now everybody's happy. Like, you're not just giving away the tools, you're actually showing them how to make money with the tools. So now it's like, and people don't understand. They're like, because I have guys that take my system. Like, I have students like from the academy. They're like, yo, VC, you need to, they would tell me, hey man, this is what you need to do. You need to be very simple. And I said, oh, what do you mean? They're like, this is how it goes. And the guy came in. He was a CEO of a company, got laid off, actually got scammed. So he calls me up one day. He said, oh, VC, is this really you? And I was like, yeah, what's up, man? And he's like, I think I got scammed. And I was like, oh man, here's my number, man. Call me. So I hit him up on Discord. He calls me up, and he tells me how this guy got a hold of him, said he was me, he was messaging back and forth, and then sent him an email, and he sent him like 5,000 in Bitcoin. I was like, everyone knows I don't take. I was like, everyone knows I don't take Bitcoin, and I only take Doge, and I was like, and so I was like, bro, that's terrible. He's like, yeah. He's like, and I lost my job. He's like, and I said, well, I'll tell you what, man, I got the academy, and I said, it's normally 5,000 for the academy. I tell you what, man, come in. And he never traded a day in his life. Didn't know shit. Like, didn't know what trading, didn't know shit. I'm like, nothing. Like, I'm like, all right, man. So come in the academy. You don't really know much, so just watch the videos, right? Everything's pretty much self-explanatory. I'm gonna walk you through on how to set up TradingView, and I did that for him. And then I said, yeah, don't worry about the cost of the course. Just get back on your feet, man. Good luck. And he came in and literally just watched the videos, and that's all he did was the system. He didn't have any support resistance. He didn't know Fibonacci. He didn't know. All he knew was that when that moon turned green on that 15-minute and the RSI started to come off the bottom, his job was to make a trade. And that's all he did.
Right.
And he was the most successful trader in the program. To where people who've been trading for like 5 years be like, bro, how you win so many trades? And he'd be like, well, I'm doing the 15-minute trade. And they just kept asking me, kept saying, I'm doing and then he was like, yo, VC, he's like, you don't have a video about the 15-minute trade? So then he started posting the links to the trade he was doing. And people were just like, man, how do you win so much? And he was like, I don't know, I just do the system. So then, as you're in the Discord for a while, you become friends with people. And then they were hanging out while they were talking while they're doing trades, and then he realized that they were cheating and jumping the system. And he was like, well, I'm not in yet because that didn't happen yet. I'm waiting for the moon. I'm waiting for my entry. And like, yeah, but it just looks like it's going to do this. He's like, okay. And then they're like, yo, you need to check out this other indicator. And then he was like, nah, he's like, I'm good with this one because this one I understand. And then he kind of like, as time went on, after a couple months of that, he just kind of like disappeared. And about 8 months later, I'm just like sitting around, and I was like, so I called him. I said, hey man, how you doing? I was like, I haven't seen you post anything in almost 6 months. He's like, oh, VC. He's like, I'm doing great. And I was like, all right. He's like, he goes, man, I took the system, and I was talking to some other people, and I said, I'm doing crypto, and they're like, oh, what are you doing? And I showed them my wins, and I'm like, yeah, I'm making 30% on all these trades, and I'm doing $1,000, so $300. I'm doing about 15 trades a week, and they were just blown away, and they said, damn, how much are you making a year? And he's like, oh man, I'm making, on my my portfolio, I said I'm averaging. I'm probably going to take in about 14 to maybe 2,000%. And they were like, no, man, that's impossible. They were like, we got hedge funds, bro, and they only give us 7. And he was like, no, he's like, I'm making at least 200 to 300 to 400% a month. So then he was like, here, I'll show you. And he started like showing his trades to them. And they were like, well, how much can you do? So he was like, and then all of a sudden it clicked for him. He says, well, here's what I can do. If you want to learn how to trade, and they're like, nah, man, we got work, we're not doing that. Like, we want you to trade, and like a hedge fund. And what would you do? And he said, right when they told me that, I just thought of you. And I was like, well, here's how it is. It's just, he's like, I don't have time to waste, but here's what I'll do. It's $5,000, right? But you have to have at least $50,000 to trade. If you don't have $50,000, then I'm not even going to trade with you, right? And so all these guys turned around, were like, oh, so he signed up like 10 dudes, and
no shit.
Yeah, and so after he signed up the first 3, the other people, he was like, other people were talking, and then people would come to him, and he'd be like, well, here's the rules. Do you have $50,000 to $100,000 to trade? And some people would be like, nah, I got about 20. He's like, well, when you get to 50, let me know. And then, yeah. And he was like, yeah, he told me straight out. I got the conversation. I was actually streaming live, and I normally record everything when I stream. I record the combos just because it's just, it's the life of journey of crypto. And he's like, yeah, so what I do, VC, is this. I'm straight up. I'm like, yo, do you have $50,000 to $100,000 to trade? And if they don't, I'm like, well, when you do, call me up. And then if they do, right? Yeah, he's bold as fuck. He's like, and if they do, I say, okay, well, here's the deal. I'll show you these trades, and he shows it to him, and he says, I can do this for you, right? But here's what I need. I want, and this was the greatest shit ever I heard. He goes, I'm going to set up copy trade accounts for you, and I'll make the trades, and your accounts will make the money. Here's what I want. I want 50% of the profits I make you. So at the end of every week, no, bro, he strong-armed these motherfuckers. At the end of every week or every month, well, I'll tally up the trades that I did, and then what your profits were, and I'll show you how to send me 50% of that, and then and that's it. He goes, so right now your hedge fund is making you about 7% a year. I'll make you 10% a month. And they're like, 10% a month? He's like, yeah, so I will make you 10% a month, which is basically 1,000 times more than your hedge fund. And they're like, what the fuck?
That's gangster. Yeah.
Gangster. And then he's like, so, but what I need is 50% of what I make you. And they are all like, oh, yeah, set me up. And he's like, no problem, but hold on. Just so you understand, it's $5,000 to start. This motherfucker made $500,000 in like 7 months after he left me.
No shit.
It's crazy. He's like, and this is the funniest thing to me because he cracked me up. He goes, the problem with VC is he's like, you're too fucking nice. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's an older guy. He's like 57. He's like, yeah, he's like, yo, no, VC, you're way too nice, brother. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, he goes, he's like, God bless you, man, but you're always trying to teach poor people to make money. He's like, and I was like, yeah. He goes, no, he's like, I've seen you send people $50, $100. I mean, shit, I've been watching you for 5 years. He's like, you send people money. It's like, what'd you do with that African guy? You took a guy who made $150 a week and he made 5,000 in like 3 months. He's like, dude, you change people's lives. You're so concerned about people who are at the lower end. He goes, and he goes, he goes, you ever notice in your Discord? He's like, the reason why I left is because all the people that you let in for free, or for like, $5 and $10. He's like, you ever notice they're the only ones that bitch? And I said, nah, not really. He goes, no, VC, believe me. They send me messages. They, because they would be like, how'd you do that trade? And I said, I followed a system. And then I talked to him, and I spent like 2-3 hours with him. He goes, after about 2 months of working with them, I realized they don't do anything that you say, and then they bitch at you. And he's like, yeah, he cracked me the fuck up. He's like, they're ungrateful ass fucking people. And the saddest part, VC, is that you let them in for nothing. He goes, fuck that. Right. He goes, if you don't have $5,000, I ain't doing shit for you. He's like, I'm not here to play. My time is valuable, and I sure the fuck ain't gonna listen to you bitch for free. Yeah. It was the funniest shit ever, and I just couldn't help but laugh. Yeah, I said, yeah. He goes like, listen, man, fuck these people. He's like, I'm saying with the best. He's like, I just want the best for you. Fuck these motherfuckers. Start your own. Go back to your trading. Only work with people with 50 to 100,000. Charge $5,000 to set it up, and then just do copy trading, and that's it. I said, VC, you can do 3-4 trades a month, and these motherfuckers will think you're a god. He's like, why do you give a fuck about all these other people? And I said, bro, I said, listen, the whole point of this, right, is the reason why I'm excited about this is because crypto is for the people. Like, where can you find something that a guy in India who makes $50 a week can learn how to trade and turn $50 into $500 a week? Right? A guy in Africa who makes $10 a week. Like, we literally have villages in Africa where they were making so much money. The people that were taking the classes that I set up were buying cell phones, and and everyone in their village was learning how to trade on like iPads and cell phones. Like, changed their lives, bro. They made $10 a week, and he was making $400 or $500 a week. He was buying shit for his village. Where can you? I'm like, bro, where do you get that status? Bro, we're changing lives. Like, we don't even know what's going to happen from the ripple effect of this. I'm like, it's supposed to be where the world finally leaves institutions, and we come together as a unit where you can go anywhere and everyone is doing well. I'm like, that's what it's about. It's God's money. I said, that's why everything I do is like, I said, yeah. I was like, I get it. I was like, I understand what you're saying. He goes, yeah, man, but they're so fucking ungrateful, VC. And I was like, I know. He's like, yeah. He's like, oh my God. He's like, I couldn't even take it, and I'm not even you. He's like, that's why I left. He's like, they're just so fucking annoying. I just couldn't take it. I'm like, bro. He's like, no, God bless you, man, because I can't do it. He's like, and I started cracking up. I was like, bro, you crazy, man. He's like, I'm just saying, VC. He's like, all you do is create these things for people. You make it cheaper and cheaper, and all they do is bitch. And then they bitch, and they don't do anything you say, and they bitch. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah. He's like, it's unbelievable. He's like, yeah, but, yeah. I think he's from Jersey. He's like, yeah. He's like, well, fuck that shit. All right, $5,000 if you want to work with me. I was like, I get it, bro. I said, that's, you're doing what you needed to build a business. Like, you had to do what you got to do. So I get it. Yeah. I understand. I said, that's the point. I said, it's just do something good with it, man. I mean, at the end of it, make sure that you start some. Give out, spend a little time out there. Go to Vegas. Go to check out. Every time you see a homeless man, give him $20, bro. Like, start something. Do something with it, man. He's like, I will, man. I will. He's like, yeah. He's like, I just hate to, I'm always watching you, and you're always doing something. It's like, man, you should just do something that was just, he's like, I'm just saying, I said, yeah. I said, but it's the whole point of us getting to where, we use this ability in this crypto and blockchain to actually, like, free up, some of the unbanked, create opportunities in other places where it's like, there's so much money in the world, and now we're seeing that it's accessible. I'm like, it's a brilliant thing. Yep. I said, and then if you can, you look at the statistics, and it's like, 1 out of 3% of day traders are actually successful. And you're like, that's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But there's so many people selling courses.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, hey, like your academy. No, I'm serious about coming to Vegas, being your protege or whatever, man. What's that cost, man? See, here's what happened. I owned a huge ass business. I got hurt. I shattered my heel,
Oof.
and that just turned into a whole fucking mess. Then I got into trading, joined that other platform. Boy, they fucked me up good, and then now I'm starting to recoup. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, because that's the thing is like, the sad part is, and that's another thing. So it's like, I was like, how do you? Because I tell people, I said, man, you know how many places everyone's been, and I'm like, all these people are out here fucking trading. I was like, everyone's been to platforms, everyone's been there, everyone. You know, when you're in a Discord, you make friends. It's like, you know how many people could actually go back and say, hey man, here's a program that fucking works. Come over here. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna show you how this works. I'm gonna show you what I'm doing, and keep it real simple, and then teach everyone actually how to fucking make money. Like, that's how easy it is to take people and get everybody in a situation where everybody is like actually doing well. Because people only do, most of the people that are in that other Discord, they're paying $5,000 to do those trades because that's what they're teaching. They don't realize how much money you can make in crypto. Like, some people are like, yo, can I do this in Forex? I'm like, fuck Forex, bro. You can make money right here. Crypto's the best money. Like, it's like shit.
Yeah.
The best money, bro. I'm like, you're over here messing around. Like today, a buddy was like, yo, I'll buy I'll send you a couple thousand for the indicator. I'm doing gold. I'm like, dude, gold only moves like 1%. I'm like, damn, you can trade Solana today and make, everything that you want to make this week. Like, you're wasting your time with gold and all these stocks and all this shit. I'm like, this is prime. I've said, and it's not, when this goes away and it becomes where it's like only, specific shit. I'm like, you're gonna be like, man, you remember those days? Like, yeah. Like, this is a great time to be in crypto, man.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, we'll have to chat it up, man, because I'm trying to think, like, because I at the end of the day, I think, because I have a couple other guys that are going to come in as well, and it's like, because I want to build, a team of guys that are like, learning. And this time it's like, all right, you're learning. Here we go. People come in. Here's your referral. The exchange is going to help pay you. This way you're getting paid for your fucking trades. You don't feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone's going to be happy here. Like, that way we can build a nice trading community of people actually helping other people. And then I try to explain to the guys that it's not about, the charging. It's about this. Like, imagine if you had 20 guys that were learning or watching you trade. And as you traded, you're like, yeah, this is the system. Here's the system, right? And you did that every day from whatever fucking time you did, 9 to 5 or whatever you did. And they just sat there and traded with you. Eventually, they'll get good. And then all of a sudden, you're just, all you do is you have your Discord up and you're just kind of like watching, your fucking coin. And then you got 25 other people come in, and go, hey, here's 4 other trades. And you're like, oh, and they're good trades because they're following the system. So all of a sudden, you're waiting for a trade to happen, but you have 3 other trades. I'm like, you're making 400 to 500 times more money because of the other people. Basically, they're your researchers. So now you got 20, 30 researchers.
That's what I'm saying, man. Let me, I want to join your army,
like,
man.
Shit.
Teach me how to fucking be on this shit, man.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, that's the goal. Is like, when you're a trader and you learn and you start helping people, like, bro, you don't even need to, you ain't even got to look for trades anymore. You can just wake up, look at the Discord, and people are like, oh shit, we got a long over here. And you're like, oh, sounds good. Like, you're just, now you're just, everyone's making money everywhere. Now you're the guy who checks everything else. Oh, you see this right here? Let's just be patient. What leverage are you using? That's too high, right? And your job is just to protect the people from themselves, right? And someone makes a mistake. Yeah. So I'm trying to get the timing because right now I got, because I'm actually going to get into a meeting. What's today? A meeting on the 8th.
Today's the 5th.
Yeah, the meeting on the 8th, and then. Because that's what I was piecing together there. But yeah, I mean, if you ain't got shit to do and you really want to roll, I mean, that's what.
I mean, I got plenty of shit to do, but I got a family. I got big bills, and
Yeah.
I mean, the situation I'm in, this is what I turn to. This is what I'm into, and this is what I'm putting everything into. I believe in it, and I mean, this is where we're heading to trading. Yeah, man.
Oh, this is like, I'll show you this. That's what I'm saying. Like, the other shit that we're gonna bring to the table is just like, you're gonna be like, oh shit. Like, it's gonna really like, it's pretty. That's why I put up that thing. I was like, man, how do we do a challenge? I was trying to figure out how to do become a, kind of like, become a, a blockchain person, something simple and just like,
Right.
sit people down like, yeah, this is all you got to do, and this is what you'll generate 100K, and this is all you're doing, and it's like, oh, that's it. Like,
right.
Yeah, that's it. It's not even fucking difficult, and that's kind of where piecing all those little pieces together for everybody's like, this is it. And now it's just okay. Now we guys got to do it. Put the examples out. Do the fucking track the success, and then be like, all right, here, because it's really hard and it's kind of weird, but if you do charge a shitload of money, $400 a month for something, people pay and it sucks and they keep paying. But if you say, hey, listen, let me show you something, and it's like they don't fucking respond to that. It's like you can't get them to get into, they to put effort into, their own success. It's like an interesting, it's a weird thing to like kind of deal with. You're like, man, you got to focus on your success here. But yeah, let me. Well, you got where you at, man? You're in what? What state you in?
Well, I'm in Indiana.
That's right. So you're still in Valpo.
I grew up, man. Right up. My shop's in Maryville, Indiana. That's where I'm at right now. But I live in Valparaiso, Indiana.
Valpo. Yeah, I used to go over there and get Albanese all the time.
Oh yeah, man. It's right down the road. On
I know.
30, yep.
I fucking love Albanese. Now I'll send you my cell phone, man. Give me a call and let's fucking we'll chop it up after this live. Yeah, I love.
Yeah.
I always tell my girl, I'm like,
I got.
You should have got that.
A real good
message.
friend of mine. She's a big time host in Vegas, so I can always stay down there for KJ Hare. But we're talking about NASCAR. I mean, she's huge into racing. She's all involved with everything. So, but yeah, I always got places to stay or whatever, man. So.
Yeah, I'm down.
Anyway.
I'm down, dude. We do. Give me a call right now, man. I'll hop off live right now. Let's chop it up. Yo, urgent. Okay, hold on. Let me. Yeah, send me a text.
Send me your number and I'll give you a call.
I sent you. I put my number in the. I sent you a DM in the Discord. Text me real quick, and then I'll give you a call in about 10 minutes. And then we'll work out
I'm going to right now.
Yeah, that'll work, brother, man. Yeah, man, I think, I think you'll like what, the thing, it's like, people don't realize how much work shit goes into it. And I'm like, if you had teams of people, shit's so easy. And I'm also like, I'm at the point, like, I've been retired for, 7 years. And I'm like, I do more work here for free than I actually work when I worked. It's like, it's like you want to teach people, and then it's like, okay, that's what you guys do. Like, that's your passion. You know what I mean? It's like,
right.
That's what you want to dig into over there. I got you, bro. All right, yeah, let me make this other call, and then I'll hit you up in about 10 minutes, brother.
Man,
I got you, Chad. Preacher, man. Later.
Later.
Mr. Gabby. All right, TikTok, we're going to hop off here, man. We'll be back later. We're going to check out Solana in a couple hours. But so far, Solana, like, for us, we're looking for a 240 mark. Then we'll see a pullback on the 240. But this thing looks like it's going to rip over the next, to be honest with you, I expect Solana by the end of October, we should be hitting about 270. So we're just going to map out real quick, where we're going to grab this and just kind of just hold it down. All right, appreciate you all, man. We'll be back in a little bit. Thanks for hopping on. REP. Yo, what's up, Fish? Oh, yeah, we talking about Solana 1K? Oh, MB. Oh, MB, where are you at? Are you in the States, MB? MB, you in America? yeah, next cycle. So yeah, I mean Solana should hit 1,000 in 2027. Yeah, here, take my here. Hold on. All right, let me give you this real quick. You got to remember, it's so Solana has a yeah. There's so much we can get into Solana about. I like Solana. East Coast. All right, I got you, bro. Let me reply. All right, here you go, man. And this is in my bio too, man. Send me. Oh yeah, 400 this season for sure. Yeah. I mean, we're gonna hit. It'll hit 400 by next May. Probably by March. We got a lot going on, man. But it's gonna top 270 here. It's gonna have a lot more in the. It's gonna have a lot to do with the money and everything, man. It's got a lot. It's got a lot going on, man. Solana's a very interesting project. Urgent. Thanks for the follow, guys. Ice Bree, what's up? Appreciate you guys. I can't see that as. Oh. How come I can't? All right, we're gonna hop off here. We'll come back over there. All right, we're looking for yo MTB. Did you get that? So if you look on the TikTok, bro, hit me up right here, man.
Click on this.
Where's my TikTok? Yeah, you'll see it on my profile has it too. Send me a text. It's right there on the profile. What up, man? Who that? Where the moon at? What up, bro? The Roaring Kitty, man. What's up, man? Roki. What was your other name, man? What's up, man? Who's that? Made Easy Money. What up, Easy Money? Bro, you got okay, bro. Call me, dude. I see what you're doing over there, man. I got something better for you, dude. I see what you on, bro. Fuck Blowfin. I got you. You know I got you, man. I got you. You got my number? Here, go here. Call me. Go here, man. I'm gonna hook you up. Mad Easy Money. I'm gonna hook you up, bro. All right, I gotta make these calls, guys. Hit me up, bro. Send me a text, Mad Money. Hey, MB, send me a text real quick. Say, yo, this is MB from TikTok. I'll get you all set up on there, man. I'll be back in a little bit, guys. All right, don't forget we're looking for a high market. We're gonna rock out with Solana. We're looking for that 240 to 250 side. All right, y'all. Let me see. What do we got here? Alright. We gotta set all that up. Okay. MB. We gotta set up classes. I don't know if I want to do that right now. There's REP. Give me 1 second. What's going on?